Happy July. We are now in the thick of gardening season and I am in the thick of my carrot bed. In today's video, we are going to talk about so much more than just the seeds that you can be direct sowing in July, but we're also going to be talking about things that can be harvested that are unique to July, and also what you want to be sowing indoors, because now is actually the time that you're going to want to start planning for your fall vegetable garden, which feels wild considering we just got into the groove of things, but this is exactly when you want to start planning for that so you can grow even further into the growing season. If you're new here, my name is Bree from Urban Gardening Canada and I garden in Ottawa Zone 5. As I mentioned, I'm going to cover all of the vegetables, herbs, and flowers that you can be planting now in July. And then we're going to talk about some specific harvests as well as what you can be sowing indoors. Now, here in Ottawa, we have a first frost date somewhere in parts of September, which means that between July and August, we have about 60 days remaining in our growing season. So you really only want to be direct sowing any plants that fit within that days to maturity of how much time you have left before your first frost date. Unless you're planting something that can take a light frost or even a hard frost, then you have a little bit of extra time. But otherwise, you really want to make sure that what you sow has that time to maturity. So you don't need to be sowing now in the beginning of July. You can be sowing these in the middle of July and even the end of July. You just want to make sure that you are getting those calculations right of how much time you have left. So the first one on the list is always going to be bush beans, because bush beans are one of those ones that can be pulled anywhere in your garden. So if you have space from a spring vegetable that you've just finished harvesting and you now have that space, bush beans are a perfect one to be putting in there. They are going to grow and give you a nice amount of beans before your first frost comes in. And then you can do some great things like freezing them or pickling them so they can last you later into the season. So if you have a longer growing season than we do here in Ottawa, okra is another option because some varieties have a 65 days to maturity for them. So if you are growing in a zone 6, 7, or warmer, then this one is something that you can still be getting into the ground. And then looking at our shorter growing seasons, something like beets is a really good one that you can be direct sowing because they can take the cool weather of the fall and they're going to have an opportunity to grow before you get your first frost. Another option that I could be putting into here is radishes, but radishes is another good one for anywhere in your garden because they can grow in the understory. So they can grow under your peppers, your eggplants, your tomatoes, anything where they get a little bit of shade. Radishes will be perfectly fine and happy since they grow in the ground and don't have a very large leaf on top. So radishes you can put anywhere. These ones are about 30 days to harvest. The main thing that you want to worry about when it comes to both carrots and radish is that they need to stay wet while they're germinating. And with the summer heat, and if you're not getting a lot of rain or you're not getting rain every single day, you do want to make sure that you are going out and watering those seeds every single day. So both for carrots, radish, and even beets, they would all do really well because that top couple centimeters or inches of soil is going to dry out pretty well every single day with the sun out and the heat out. So you do want to make sure that you are watering them. All right, next up is turnips. Turnips are also another one that don't mind the cool weather that's coming at the end of the season. So if you have one that is 60 to 75 days to harvest, some turnips you can get at even 30 days, then you can put these ones into your garden as well, and they are going to be able to grow happily until your first frost date and sometimes even past it. Now looking at the leafy greens, we have options like lettuce, arugula, kale, and Swiss chard. Now, Swiss chard, kale, and arugula can handle a bit of warmer temperatures, so these ones are really good ones to be putting out in July. And the other thing about them is that they also really like those cool temperatures, especially your kale and your Swiss chard. If you plant these now, they are going to go all the way until your first frost date and they will happily grow for you. So these are ones that if you've been sick or you've been on vacation or you just haven't gotten them in the ground yet, you don't have to worry about it. You can sow these ones now. And then lettuce, when you're choosing this one, you do really want to find a heat tolerant variety that is not prone to bolting because a lot of lettuce prefers that cool weather. You do want to find a summer option. So I will link a couple options for you down here for you to read on which options there are. I have a red iceberg lettuce that doesn't bolt in the heat and I absolutely love that one. So this one's a really great choice for you. And I'll give you some other options, but succession sowing lettuce, because it's only 30 days to harvest, means that you can be doing it every couple of weeks, every week if you want, so that way you get access to fresh lettuce. For me, I'm growing curly kale, so that way when I mess up on my succession sowing of lettuce, I can eat the curly kale as a fresh salad in between the lettuces picking up for me. So this is another really good option for you. This is another good reminder for you that you can be planting carrots. A lot of people actually grow their carrots and let them get hit by frost and snow, and they will harvest them sometimes in the winter and sometimes in the spring because they are just that hardy. So I have some space in between where some of my germination wasn't great, so I can be planting some more carrots in here so I can get a nice solid carrot garden bed here. While we're here talking about succession sowing and sowing carrots, I may as well actually sow some carrots while we're here. This garden bed has 4 different varieties of carrots in it, but of course I didn't label any of them, so it's a bit of chaos gardening, but who doesn't love a bit of chaos gardening anyways? This is my rainbow carrot garden, and it's actually a variety pack of rainbow carrots that I got from O Canada Seeds, which I'm really excited to say is the sponsor of today's video. In their rainbow carrot variety pack, they have 4 different types. And that's when I go to say that I don't know which one is which. I just planted all of them in here together. And that's because there are just so many seeds that exist in these variety packs. I've never grown this many carrots in my life, but when I opened up the variety pack and saw how much was in here, I couldn't help myself. Each of the seed varieties has somewhere between 650 to 1,400 seeds. That's a lot of seeds for us backyard gardeners, and it means that it's possible for us to have a rainbow carrot garden just like this. O Canada Seeds is a small Canadian seed company that's based out of Halifax, Nova Scotia, and their focus is on providing high quality seeds at affordable prices, all while including varieties that make sense for our short Canadian growing season. Their seeds are non-GMO, untreated, and selected specifically for you. July is all about focusing on succession sowing and planning for your fall garden, which means that you need the right seeds to do the job over the next few months. So along with their rainbow carrot variety pack, they also have this leafy green multi-pack. And what I love about it is that it has so many varieties in here, including the black-seeded Simpson lettuce and the Paris Island romaine lettuce. And these are heat-resistant varieties, which means that you can be planting these seeds in your garden right now to withstand these summer heat. But there's also varieties in here that I'm going to be talking to you guys about in a couple months that are specifically for your fall garden. And you know, we always talk about herbs, and they have a 5 variety container herb packet as well. And in here they include basil, which we know is a heat loving herb. And then there are a couple other herbs in here that we will be talking about in future videos when it gets cooler. What I love is that the varieties in these packets cover your spring, summer, and fall garden, and they're actually suited to hydroponic systems too, which means that they're a year-round choice. And you don't need to plan out all of the varieties because they do this for you, making sure you're covered across your entire garden, whether you grow in raised beds, containers, or balconies. Succession sowing is one of the more difficult things when it comes to gardening and making sure that your garden is always filled with vegetables that you can be harvesting. But O Canada Seeds makes it so much easier with their selection that they offer you. I'm going to put their website in the description below for you, but you can also scan the QR code here to get to their website, and you can even save 7% using my code URBAN7. All right, we are going to give these seeds a watering, and then we are going to head into the next seed that you can be direct sowing this month. All right, that is everything for the vegetables. When it comes to herbs, basil is one of those that you can be direct sowing now, and it is going to love this summer heat, and it's going to grow for you, and you're going to be able to make pestos with it. You'll definitely want to sow multiple of these ones so you can get a good harvest, and you can keep these all through the winter if you know how to dehydrate them or freeze them. This is a really great option. And just make sure when it gets a couple of sets of leaves that you pinch off the top of it so that it branches out, so that you get a nice bushy plant of basil. All right, when it comes to flowers, the first one is my favorite to tell you guys about, and that is nasturtiums. It's never too late to plant nasturtiums. These flowers can actually go down to freezing temperatures, +4 they're pretty good with. So you don't have to worry about it being too late, because when it comes September and October, they'll still be growing for you, and it's really not that big of a deal. So I recommend adding these to your garden, especially because they work as a trap crop. They're really beautiful, but they're also fully edible. So this one works as both a flower and an edible plant that you can add to your garden. Another option is alyssum. This one I am trying out as a living mulch. I'm doing an experiment for you guys where I'm testing out different living mulches, and alyssum is on my list. And one of the reasons that this one is on my list is because it brings in parasitic wasps, which are such a good beneficial insect, especially for the tomato hornworm. And it also lasts all the way until the snow falls on it. It is going to bloom until the snow forces it to quit blooming. And that's what I love about this one. So it's a really great option to be adding to your garden now. Next up is calendula. This is also one that likes the summer heat, but is also happy in cool temperatures. So you can grow this one and make sure that if you are succession sowing it, you are going to get blooms all the way until the snow falls on this one as well. Snapdragons are similar. They love that cool temperature. So by sowing these seeds now, you're going to be able to get fall blooms. The goal with sowing your snapdragons in July isn't to get blooms in July, but rather so you have those blooms come September and October. So as the garden is winding down, you have these blooms in your garden, and they will continue to bring food for pollinators that are still awake, but also just bring you joy in the garden. The final one is cornflower or blue boys. This one is a really great one to support the pollinators, and again, this will go further into the fall as well. So you can be direct sowing this one and you will get some nice colorful blooms for the remainder of the summer. And it's just a really nice addition to make sure that, again, you are supporting those pollinators late into the season. Let's talk about what you can be harvesting that is not typical, and that is your garlic. If you are growing garlic, then July, if you are in a colder zone, like a zone 4 or 3, then early July, you're likely going to be harvesting your garlic scapes. So this is something that's really great that you can be adding to your any type of food that you're frying. It's going to give you a nice mild garlic flavor, and this is specific to the hardneck varieties that we often grow here in Canada. So once that scape makes its full curl, you're going to want to be harvesting that, so that way you can get a bigger bulb on your actual garlic. If you are in a warmer zone like I am in zone 5 or zone 6 or warmer, then you are likely going to be able to harvest your garlic in late July. I harvested a single bulb last year on July 16th, and that was purely because I was worried that someone was going to steal them from the allotment, but I actually had a really good size head of garlic as of mid-July. So by the end of July, you're really going to want to start looking to see if your garlic is ready to be harvested. So keep that on the back of your mind for the remainder of this month. Now, things that you want to be sowing indoors. I know it's July and it seems really strange, but if you want to grow a fall garden, then you are going to want to start your cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower indoors in July. And this can be the beginning of July, this can be the end of July. It's really up to you and how big you want those seedlings to get. But the reason that you're starting in July is because it's going to take about 8 weeks for you to be able to get them outside at a good size. And this will set you up for anywhere from the beginning to the end of September. You need to plan it that you aren't going to get too many hard frosts, that it's going to kill your plant before it forms a head, but you also don't want to plant them out when it's still too hot and they're not happy about it. And the reason that you're starting them indoors is twofold. The first is that you don't want these plants to bolt way too early because of the summer heat. This isn't what they like. So by having them indoors, you have a nice cooler temperature. The air conditioning or the breeze inside is going to help keep them cool. And the second thing is you don't have to worry about cabbage moths on these tiny little seedlings, because the cabbage moths will still lay their eggs on these tiny little seedlings, and then they're going to eat them, and you're going to end up struggling to keep them alive because you have so many holes being eaten on them. So by starting these inside in July, you'll be ready to plant them out sometime early to late September, and they will be able to grow and create heads for you before you get snow on them. Of course, if you're doing this, you are going to have to employ hoop houses or cold frames with these plants. So if this is something that you're not using right now, but you do want to start a fall garden and grow as far into the season as possible, you're going to want to check into that. I do have a full, very comprehensive video on hoop houses that I will leave for you up here and in the description below for you to to check out. And this means that you are going to get to grow way further into the season than you ever have in the past. So these aren't all the fall vegetables that you can be growing, but these are the ones for July. And next month, I'm going to take you through all of the other ones that you can be starting as well. But otherwise, that is everything for what you can be sowing in July. There's still so much that you can be putting in the garden in order to succession sow and keep that harvest going versus having a one and done harvest. And if you did enjoy today's video, I hope that you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check out this video here. Bye.